Should you wait for your dream school to offer you? And it's critical that you get this right, because if you get it wrong, not only are you going to miss out on your dream school opportunity, but you're going to miss out on other opportunities that you worked incredibly hard to get. So it's critical that we get this right. If you don't know who I am, my name is Jack Kruger. I played at 2 different Division I schools. I've been through the transfer portal. I played 7 years of professional sports. I've helped hundreds of athletes navigate college recruiting. So everything I'm telling you in this video comes straight from the battlefield, from the front lines of recruiting. Okay. So when we talk about this dream school scenario, the key word here that we're going to talk about is leverage. Okay. And leverage in college recruiting is the amount of interest and offers that you have from college coaches. And everything that you do in recruiting, everything should be centered around increasing the amount of leverage that you have. So whether you're making videos, you're sending emails, you're posting on social media, going to showcases and camps, whatever it is, every single thing that you do should be building leverage in the process, because that is what is going to allow you to wait for your dream school to offer you. Let me show you what this looks like, okay? Let's say that you get to the end of the process and you only have one scholarship offer that you can actually accept, and that's from a school that you're like not that excited about. It's like, it's okay, but it's better than nothing, but it's not my favorite school. And at the same time, you are having back and forth conversations with your favorite school, right? Or your kid is having back and forth conversations with their favorite school, but they don't have an offer yet. And the question is, should you take the one offer that you have because it's the only one you have, or should you wait for your dream school to offer you, because that would be the ideal scenario, right? And so in this situation, you almost have to take that one offer. Why? Because you don't have any leverage. If that one school goes away, you don't have anywhere to play. And so you can't really afford to wait for your dream school because you don't have any leverage. You only have the one offer, the one opportunity. Now, look at the flip side of this. What's the opposite situation? If you had, let's say, 6 offers, right? But your dream school has not offered you yet, but you're in communication with them, then guess what? You can wait to see if your dream school wants to offer you, because you have 6 offers. So if 3 of those go away, because those schools are not going to hang around forever, right? There's going to be a deadline where they go, listen, we need some sort of answer. Otherwise, we got to go recruit someone else. And so if you have 6 of those, 3 of those could totally go away while you're waiting for your dream school, and you'd still be perfectly fine because you still have 3 offers. Right? You have that leverage. And this is part of the reason, by the way, that I recommend that you contact a large number of schools. Usually it's 100 at a minimum. And people are like, Jack, you're absolutely crazy. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not interested in 100 schools. My kid isn't interested in 100 schools. Yeah, I know. I know. But this situation is the exact reason why it's critical, because everyone has a short-term view in college recruiting, and they go, yeah, but right now, I only have 20 schools that I'm interested in. And they don't think about 10 months down the road, when they're waiting on their dream school and they only have one offer, and they're like, oh, now I'm kind of in a tricky situation. Guess what? That situation is born out of what you did 10 months prior to that, right? Because you only contacted 20 schools, 30 schools, right? But if you had contacted 100 and you had 6 offers, guess what you can do now? You can wait for your dream school. It's yet another reason why you should be contacting way more schools than you probably are right now. And so when we talk about this whole idea of a dream school, you have to understand that even if you have a dream school, even if you have 10, 20 schools that you are particularly interested in, those cannot be the only schools that you contact. They just can't. I'm telling you, because I have been the magician who's gone to the other side of the curtain. I've helped a ton of athletes go through this, and I can tell you what is coming in the future. And what's coming in the future, if you contact a small number of schools, is likely a situation where you only have one offer and you're talking to your dream school and you are not able to wait for your dream school. And that is going to stink. That's going to suck hard. It would be much better if you contact a bunch of schools and you generate a lot of leverage, and then toward the end of the process, you can actually use that leverage to wait on your dream school and give yourself the best possible chance of getting to your dream school. The other way that I like to think about this is I think about what consequences are you willing to accept, right? So a lot of times when I'm talking to a family, and this conversation usually comes up later in the process because that's when you have to start making really hard decisions, right? Even something like, oh, you have 3 offers. Okay, which one are you going to accept? Right? And so that is something where it's my job to give like a client, a family we're working with, the context through which to make a good decision, but it's not my job to make the decision for them, right? I can't tell them where their kid should go to school for the next 4 years because guess what? I don't have to live with those consequences. And you should never take advice from someone who doesn't have to live with those consequences. And so I'm not going to sit there and tell them exactly what they should do. I'll tell them how to get those offers and exactly what they should do to get those offers. But once it becomes time to make decisions, that's not my role. That's not my job. My job is to give you the full picture and help you weigh all the options so you have the most information so that you can make an educated decision and make the best decision possible. That's what my job is. And so when we get to a position like that, the frame that I like to talk about a lot and that I like to use is that of consequences, right? And I say, so which consequences are we willing to live with? So let's do it with the dream school scenario. Let's say you have one offer, right? And then you have your dream school. My question is going to be, what consequences are you willing to live with? If you choose to take the one offer that you have, the consequences are that you're settling a little bit, right? Because it's not your top school. Now, is it a good opportunity? Yes. Is it the best opportunity? I don't know. Maybe the dream school could come. So by accepting the one offer, the consequences are that you're settling, right? You're not going to your top school. Now, the pros are that you still have somewhere to play, right? Now, let's look at the other side. What are the consequences of waiting for your dream school? Well, it could be that school never offers you. And then this other offer goes away and they go recruit someone else, and now you don't have anywhere to play next year, right? And so that is the consequence of that. What's the pro? The pro is that they might come along and offer you, and then you're going to your dream school and all is well, right? And so there's no way to have a crystal ball to know exactly what's going to happen. And so that's why we use the consequences framework to help us weigh these two options. And so really, which risk are you more willing to take? Which consequence are you more willing to live with? Because if you can mitigate downside, then you could focus on the upside, right? And so if we look at the consequences of the one offer, it's, do I want to settle, or the consequences of the dream school, which is I might not have anywhere to play. And then you can go ahead and make whatever decision it is that is best for you and your family. But at least at that point, you know what the consequences are. Now, the conversation completely changes if you have multiple offers. You have 6 offers. What are the consequences of waiting? You lose out on 3 schools? Okay, you still have 3. Those consequences are much less severe. They're much less severe, right? Which is why you're trying to acquire as much leverage as you possibly can in the process. And so when you say, hey, should I wait for my dream school to offer me? Really what we're talking about is not what's happening in the moment, but what should have transpired 10 months ago, right? When we're contacting schools, we should have entertained every option. We should have contacted a bunch of schools, even ones that we might not be head over heels for, right? We should have gotten more exposure, sent more emails, more posts to social media, right? And so a lot of what you're going to struggle with later in the process will be due to the actions that you take earlier in the process. And so when we're talking about the dream school thing, the number one thing that you have to remember is leverage. Everything you're doing in the recruiting process, everything is about acquiring and increasing leverage. That's it. That's all the game is. And when you get to the point where you acquire a ton of leverage, that's when you hold the cards. Guess who holds the cards? If you have 20 offers that you can accept, yeah, you can go wherever you want. But if you only have one offer, guess who holds the cards? College coaches, not you. That's out of your hands. And so you want to increase the amount of leverage that you have. And the way you do that is by getting as many offers and as much interest as you possibly can. If you're the parent of a high school athlete, and you don't know how to navigate college recruiting, and you want to generate that leverage, and you want help doing that, then I'll leave a link in the description. You can book a call with us, and we can walk you through how we help athletes through this process. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.